Hey guys, I hope you're well. You're on my channel, Being Human. So today's video I wanted to do about what happens and what you need to do before you even start looking at natural law or common law or whatever you want to call it. Now, there's a certain amount of stuff we need to do internally that will help anything else externally make sense to us. And it's called coming into alignment. Now, I'm not just talking about alignment after you've finished doing yoga and you feel truly at one with yourself, because that is an amazing feeling and that is a form of alignment, but that's a way of getting there by physical exercise. And there's a way of coming into alignment just by the power of your words. Now, the power of your words are so great, we don't really fully comprehend and understand every word that we're talking. We just use the language that we've been given and we've been born with, not born with, sorry, but that we've had since we were born. And with that, we just use it. Very rarely do we know what those words actually mean and what they were meant to mean in the very beginning, which is the term and etymology, when you look at the original place that the word came from. Now, there's lots of things I want to demonstrate. I'm going to demonstrate with toys because it's the best way. I have loads of toys. I've got Lego. I have all sorts of stuff. So basically, this is your life. This is a void. It's all the space in and around us that we are living in. It's your void. Yeah, it's completely empty space until you come along. So this is you. Okay? So this here is the space in which you live. Now, what you choose to fill this space with is entirely up to you. Anything from games, from homework, from life, from bills, from people, whatever it is, goes around here. Okay? Now, the aim of the game, shall we call it, because life is just a game, is to keep your life as clear as possible and to keep this board as free as possible, because whatever wants to come to you can get to you because there's nothing blocking it. However, in life, when we have blocks, metaphysical blocks, remember, metaphysical things is the stuff you can't see, physical is the stuff that you can see. So metaphysically, although we can see you here, there's lots of stuff in the way that may be blocking you from living the life you want. Now, what has this got to do with law? Well, law, real law, is about governing yourself. But in order to govern yourself, you have to govern yourself from a place of absolute truth. Most people don't know how to live in absolute truth. I'll be honest, it's very hard to learn. Still, some days I find myself saying things and I'm like, that's not what I mean, or that's not what I really want. I am not perfect. I'm not here saying that I'm living in absolute truth 24/7, but I'm telling you one thing, is that I do my very best. And if there's something that comes up, I admit that I'm wrong, or I think, oh, wow, okay, need to change that, and I start again. Okay, so at any moment you can govern yourself correctly. And we only learn to govern ourselves correctly by putting in things like boundaries and putting in things that don't serve us, making sure that we don't do them again when we're living in our truth. So, for example, I want to show you that this, imagine these Lego blocks, this is a bunch of bills, okay? I'm going to put them on the Lego board. And this is another bunch of emails that you've got that you haven't yet dealt with. Okay, so you can start to see there's things on my block in and around in my life. And they're just things that are floating around. Now, I'm going to add something. Now, it's not going to be able to sit on here. I wish it was, but unfortunately I can't. But I'm going to add a troll. Okay, this is a partner of some kind. Now, this partner came to you and you've had fun and it was going great. Didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to, but it ended. You weren't that happy, they weren't that happy, unresolved issues, you left it, never going to see him again. This person has not gone, okay? The energy of this person is still with you. The person themselves is not here in the physical, but metaphysically, they're on the board. Okay, because you have an emotional attachment to this person. Now, if you didn't close your loop with this person in a healthy way and it wasn't consciously dissolved and there's still bitterness in there somewhere, or if you're still annoyed in some way by them, or they still trigger you in some way, that's a clear sign to remember that they're still on the board. Okay, now the good thing about the world is that it loves you. And if you've not learned something about one person, or about one situation. It's usually not about the person. But if you've not learned something about a situation, the universe loves you that much, it will give you the exact same thing, just looks slightly different, but it will give you the exact same scenario for you to learn from. And this is when people say, oh, I feel like I'm going in circles. Why is it not working? It's because these people are still on the board. Until you dissolve and really come to terms with whatever happened with this person, 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10, it will show up again in the form of another person. And this is what we call going in circles. And lots of women usually say this about men. Oh, why do I always meet men the same way? There's something you haven't resolved from the last one that's causing you to have a block. Now, as well as this, as well as our toy block here, we also have a number of things that I like to play with called the ego. Female ego, male ego. Now, I know that there's, you know, the non-binary movement and everything out there. Just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to call it the female ego and the male ego, because we all have a masculine and a feminine side. So we're not talking about gender here as in what you were born as. We're just talking about energetic genders. Female, masculine. And they're also on the board. Okay, so this board now, if you can see, is rather full. Yeah, I wish they were all Lego pieces and that they were all staying. I could tip it up some way, but I can't. So this board is now really hard for you, if I can move the camera slightly. Yeah, it's really hard for you to get out of your mess. Yeah. So what do we do? Camera's screwed. What do we do about all of this stuff? Well, in order to live in your truth, you have to be honest. Okay. You have to know. Be honest with yourself when your ego's at play. You have to know that you have an ego and that she exists in a feminine form. And there is also a masculine version of that ego that will also be blocking you in some way, that will be causing you issues in your life to deal with, because it's not a horrible ego, although it might look like one. It actually wants you to grow. Your ego is there to push you, and sometimes it's there to protect you, but we don't see it like that. And if we're drinking or smoking, or I'm smoking weed by what I'm saying, if we're drinking or smoking or taking something that doesn't allow us to feel our truth, we can't really see our ego at play. It's like they're mystified, okay? But when you give up those things and your judgment isn't shrouded in anything that will change your perception, then you can start to see and feel what's true for you and where your male ego or your female ego might be coming in. You also get to see, okay, the truth of the situation of relationships. And with these two in particular, if you solve the issues with this one and you realize that there was something you could have done better and that there was something that you needed to do in order to have a better experience, then you're not really going to be bringing in the same thing again if you figure it out here. If you apologize here, if you own your part here, if you grow from this space and you stay friends with this person, you're probably not going to meet this version of the person. Now I'm going to move the camera slightly because I don't know if you can see my face fully, but there you go. This is just me working. Oh, camera's going a little bit there. But rather than me making it perfect and editing it all, I just like to go on the fly. Now, I have a whole bag of toys. These are my toys from when I was a kid. And I've used them many times explaining things to people because it just, for me, makes sense. Now, my hair, my friends always say to me, Nat, don't touch your hair in your videos so much. God, my dad moans at me for it, but sometimes I just feel like it's all over the place. But anyway, today I'm going to touch my hair because it's on my head, so it's my decision if I do so. And it's a bit of a mess. But anyway, this board can become very clear, okay, once we know who's playing on it and why. Now, you're probably still thinking, what's this got to do with law? Well, if you want to govern yourself, you have to know who's doing the governing. You have to know who's playing a role today. If you want to govern yourself, you have to put boundaries in place. You need to know what the boundaries are around relationships. Were you doing the right thing? Did they push that boundary? If they did you allow them to push it? Because if you did, hello, you're going to get the next one. You're going to get the tests. You have to know what's on the board. And also when it comes to law, you've got a very slim chance of governing your own self and putting your law into place effectively if you can't even deal with your emails. If you've got thousands of emails with notifications on, you are not going to be able to govern yourself correctly. I'm sorry to tell you. Now, you might for a short period of time, but on an ongoing period of time, I can tell if you have thousands of emails in there that there's a part of your life, there's something in there that doesn't want to go there. You're like, oh, I can't be bothered. The can't be bothered attitude that we all have, myself included, is a big part of our lives. Whatever we can't be bothered with, we're frustrated by, it's a chore. That's an area where 9 times out of 10, most of the magic can happen. Because whatever we resist persists. And that's why the email box keeps going and getting higher and higher and higher. Now, if you can be a ninja and go, right, okay, I'm going to sort out my email box today. There's so many tools out there that will allow you to literally just type into Google and put clean my inbox. And there's loads of tools in there that will allow you to clean your email boxes within the space of less than an hour. And it will do most of it for you. And it will keep most of your emails that you need. And it will allow you to choose from the ones you don't. That's a minor. But when we have this can't be bothered attitude, that is not going to sit well when you're trying to govern yourself, because it's not your truth. Okay, your truth is you can't be bothered, but actually the truth is you're lazy. Okay, your truth is you should be doing something in your life, but you're choosing not to because it's easier not to. Now, you've probably also got other friends in your life that are annoying you and you haven't been quite honest with them yet. And you're thinking to yourself, oh God, I wish that person would just leave me alone. Or why do they keep texting me? Or can they stop, whatever it is they're doing. It's up for you or to you to actually say, hey, this isn't working for me, or I can't give you what you need, or I can't meet your needs, I'm meeting my own. We have to be verbal. We have to learn how to communicate. And when we can learn how to communicate effectively, you don't have to be horrible. I very recently went on an amazing retreat, but it left me so wiped when I got home and I was exhausted. And I came back and I thought, I haven't got space in my life on my game board for everyone. This right now is going to weigh me down and I don't want that. So I had to be honest and I had to say to my dear friends, I love you all, but I need to take some time for myself. I really have, something's gone on and I'm just really trying to connect with myself. I'll be back out soon. I'll be back in the world out soon. And they're all okay with it. And, everybody else has got their own stuff going on. If you need to check out for a reason or you need to just say no, people respect that and they understand that. And as long as you're okay when they do the same with you, this is part of life. We can't be available all the time to everyone. There's certain people I know that message me and they're continuously messaging me one message. Rather than just doing a bulk message, I get ding, 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 ding. I have to say, can you stop? I can't cope with that many ding, 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 and I need to have my phone on. And I don't want to have to turn those notifications off on that day because I'm waiting for somebody else to message me, which is important. But in between that, ding, 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 I'm going nuts. Stop. And they listen and they do their best to stop. Sometimes it's just a habit, but I had to speak up. And this stuff seems minor. And it seems like it might totally be unrelated to the world at large at the moment and what's going on and how you can govern yourself. And you might think this has got nothing to do with whether you can, put forth your word. But it has everything to do with your word, because your word is your life. And if you are not living with the power of your words and enhancing your life in some way, then in some way your life's not working out for you because of the words you speak. Because of the words that you are unable to speak usually. Most people stay silent. Most people don't say what they need to say. Most people keep themselves tucked away quiet and think that everything will be okay. Well, I've got news for you. Ostrich, head in the sand, doesn't work because your arse is wide open while your head's in the sand. And I don't like that picture in my head. But that's it. The ostrich, head in the sand, arse in the air. I don't want my arse to be there available for everyone to do what they want with, but that's what's happening when you don't govern yourself. It's really important, and I want to make it as fun as possible, hence me using Lego and everything else, is this work that we have to do, this self-work, this stuff that is like, but we're all addicted to it anyway because we love, going down the personal development journey. It can be fun and it can be so easy, but we have to learn how to communicate. And learning to govern your own life as it is, without bringing on the Black's Law dictionary of what you need to say and when you get arrested. Forget that. Energetically, clear yourself. Get rid of the emails and the bills. Face everything. Even if you can't afford your bills, just let those people know, hey, can't afford the bill right now, but we'll pay it soon. Done. You've energetically been able to serve them with something that is going to keep them going, okay, cool, at least I know. Otherwise, you are stuck. But you want this space in your life. I mean, we need space in our lives because the world's getting crazy. So the more space you can give yourself on the game board, the easier life will be. Now, if anyone's got any questions or any comments, please do let me know. I'm really not trying to patronise you by using toys, by the way. I just want you to know this is where I do most of my work and it makes sense to me. For me, it's just a way of bringing fun and bringing something through that is a little bit more simple and easier to understand. And not everyone is perfect. Not everyone can do this stuff overnight, but I promise you, you can start small. Just start on your emails. Just be an email ninja. And if you've already done your emails, do your WhatsApps. Go through all of those WhatsApp messages and archive the lot. Everything in your WhatsApp can literally be, if you haven't done it, leave it in there and then go and do it and then just archive it every time, because then you can literally start firing through your WhatsApps and you've got nothing to fear. And if you've done your emails and you've done your WhatsApps, go do your finances. Start with the really small things that matter and then keep working up. I'll be doing more videos as I go along, and I want to let you know as well, a couple of people have emailed me and somebody messaged me as well on the comments saying, hi Nat, where are you? Where have you disappeared to? Now, I'm not going to be available to do videos every single day. I have to let you know that right now. I have my own life, I have my radio station, I have my mental health, and I have a keen interest in doing this, but I need to make sure I can balance them all. So I'm not departing, I'm not running away. I'm just going to be very honest with you because this is my boundary. I can't be there all the time. I have to be there for myself. And this is me governing myself. So whatever I do bring to you can be from a place of happiness. It can be from a place of, confidence. It can be from a place of clear understanding, because I'm not just trying to fill up content. Okay, this was something that's been on my mind for the last couple of days. I use this stuff anyway, and I just wanted to be very clear with you and explain that if you can start governing your little life in the game world, because life is a game, and as you learn the law, you will get more and more into that and seeing what that law actually is and how much of a game it really is. This will make much more sense than it already does. But I hope that helps, and please do send me an email if you want to. You can reach out in the comments. I will try and answer them my very best. But I'm recording meditations today, so just wanted to get this video out of the way so I can be clear on my meditations and flow when I'm in the studio. So I love you all. Thank you so much, and stay safe. Bye. Bye for now.